Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this emulsified herbal infused hair butter that's great for promoting hair growth, and I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to use it. It's one of 5 of my new products that I recently launched on my website, and I'm super excited to share the recipe, so let's get started. I don't feel glad that I can have this, babe. Nobody else you, nobody else makes me. Nobody else had a clue what I could do, So jumping into the herbs we are going to be using for this recipe. So the first herb is brownie powder. Brownie powder has so many good benefits for your hair, including reducing dry scalp, reducing split ends, and reducing damage to your hair. Next, we are going to be using amla powder, which is great for conditioning your scalp and reducing damage and thinning. And last but not least, shibi powder, which is well known in the natural hair community as an awesome herb for promoting hair growth, and it adds a great color to the butter. So I'm going to mix these herbs together in a bigger bowl, and I find that it's easier to work with herbs that are in a powdered form because the oils better infuse with the herbs in this state. Now we are moving on to our oils. So I'm adding grapeseed oil here. It's really important that when you are infusing oils, you want to get something that's very light. Lighter oils tend to infuse better than thicker oils, which is why grapeseed oil is perfect. I'm also adding some sunflower oil, which is super light as well. So we want to let this sit for at least 48 hours, but if you don't have the time, you can put this on the stove using a double boiler, and that will quicken the infusion process. Since this butter is an emulsified formula, that means that we're going to have a water component as well as an oil component in this mixture. So starting off with our water component, I am just going to be adding some distilled water to start off with. Make sure it's distilled water, you don't want to use anything else. Then, because I want this butter to be really hydrating, I'm going to add some aloe vera liquid for extra moisture. And lastly, I'm going to add some glycerin, which is a humectant to help draw moisture to the hair. So once our oil is ready, it's time to strain it. So I'm just going to use a cheesecloth and pour the oil through. I'm really going to make sure to get everything out of this bowl, especially the stuff at the bottom. And since I'm the only one that's going to be using this butter, I'm just going to take my hands and squeeze all the rest of the oil out of the mixture. So once this step is done, we can start our oil component. So I'm going to be using mango butter as a base because it's very non-greasy and lightweight, which is perfect for this recipe. Next, I'm going to go in and add our infused oil, and look at that rich color. And now we need to add our emollients, which is going to prevent the water and oil components from separating. So we're adding emulsifying wax, which is perfectly safe for natural hair, and it is perfect for helping the butter to lock in moisture. And we're going to be adding some cetyl alcohol, and don't get freaked out by the name. It is nowhere near rubbing alcohol. It actually helps to soften and condition the hair. Now we're going to heat up both mixtures on the stove. While the oil melts, we want the water components to heat up because we want them to be the exact same temperature. This is extremely important. So now both components are heated up, and we're going to immediately pour the oil component into the water component. And as soon as we do that, we want to start emulsifying the mixture. Very important. You do not want to wait, because if one component cools down before the other, you will not get the correct texture. So we're going to emulsify this, and we're going to end up with this creamy white liquid. So as this mixture cools to room temp, it will thicken up, so you want to make sure that you are mixing it every 10 to 20 minutes to prevent lumps. So our butter is almost room temperature, and the texture is looking amazing. Of course, as it cools more, it will get slightly thicker than this. Now we're going to add our preservative, which is super important. Since this recipe has water in it, you need preservative to prevent bacteria from forming and the batch to go bad. So super important, don't skip this. And of course, we're going to add some vitamin E oil, which is a great antioxidant, again, to help to prevent bacteria from growing. And finally, we're going to add some fragrance oil. This one is Rose Bouquet because I wanted this to smell very floral because of the herbs. This doesn't stink on its own, but it definitely doesn't have like a super pleasant smell. It kind of doesn't really smell like anything, so a fragrance oil definitely helps. And we're just going to mix this until it's thoroughly combined. Really take your time with this, specifically because of the preservative. You want to make sure that that is mixed well throughout the mixture. So like I said, once it's completely cools to room temperature, the consistency will be slightly thicker, more like a pudding or a custard. Now we're just going to transfer it to a container. And like I said in the beginning of the video, this is one of 3 new hair butters I've recently launched on my website, as well as an herbal infused oil, and finally my oil blend, which you guys have been asking for over a year. So go check that out on my website. And that's really it. And look how good this melts in. Imagine that on your hair. In fact, let me show you really quick how to use it. So I always like to start on freshly washed hair. Like, I only use this product on wash days, which is once a month, and I don't need to use it again. That's how good it is. So I like to start off with a leave-in conditioner and apply that thoroughly to the section. And if your hair isn't freshly washed, just make sure you spritz it with some water. You just want it to be damp. Don't do this on dry hair. Then I'm going to go in with my hair butter, and you don't need a lot. I'm gonna rub it between my hands and apply it to the section, and it works so well with my leave-in conditioner. I was super happy. So I decided to do a twist out, and this is how it came out. If you guys want that video, definitely leave it in the comments below. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, go check out those products on my website. Make sure you subscribe because I have a ton of new recipes coming, and follow me on my social media for daily hair growth content. Alright guys, see you in the next one. Bye.
Tell me what you see in me.